Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nofrena binti Putra, and today I will to present to you about my case study report. My case study title is The Effects of Delayed Shipments of Inventory Towards the Production and Organization of S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd. Okay, first, let me explain to you about the company backgrounds. S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd is a manufacturing subsidiary in Singapore known as S Manufacturing S Pte Ltd, which established in 1994. S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, that established in 1999, is a factory that operates making electronic products such as motherboards, compressors, and computer cable manufacturing, and has about 200 staff that located in Ulu Tiram, Johor. S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd business also includes importer, exporter, dealers and manufacturers, assemblers and stockists of equipment and components of all kinds in the field of computer, electrical and electronic products. There are three types of products produced by S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, which are firstly PCBA, second cables, and third box build construction. Besides, this company also offers their customer to custom-made solution for their customer needs and requirements. Okay, this company vision is to be the choice strategic partner and supplier of modules and system integration, printed circuit assembly, and custom cable solution for all stakeholders. The mission for this company is firstly is to be global supplier in design and manufacturers of customized module cable and wire harness assemblies. Second, to be a global supplier in high mix, low volume manufacturing (PVA) assemblies. And lastly, to provide one-stop module and system integration solution to customer. Okay, as you can see, this is the logo for the company of electronic manufacturing Sdn Bhd. E stands for electronic and S stands for synergies. So this organizational chart for the company, which have a several department, which are manufacturing, engineering, quality control, IT, material and purchasing, human resources and admin, and finance department. So I've been placed in material and purchasing department during my internship period. So what I do every day, firstly is issuing purchase order, which will known as PO. So this PO basically from the MRP system, from the material requirement planning system, or from the production line. If there are any request purchase order, so I will make the purchase order to be signed from the manager or director, and next we'll make a purchase order. Second task is to finding a quotation from the supplier. Basically, the quotation is a request from the production team that they want to buy new item or any goods to be purchased. So what I do is I need to find the best supplier so that they can give as manufacturing company the best price with the low price. So the supplier with the low price, then I will choose that supplier to make a deal and proceed to make a purchase order. And lastly is make the return to supplier, which known as RTS. This RTS is basically if there are any defect item that received by the company, so or the item is not enough when they receive the item, so they need to do the RTS. So I will do the RTS in the system, and then will inform to the supplier immediately. Next, I will explain to you about the role of industry and company. S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd is the one industry that manufactures electronic components. Industrial electronic refers to equipment, tools, and process that use electrical equipment. Is an industrial setting. Besides, it's made up of companies that make, design and develop or assemble and service electronic equipment and components. It could be a laboratory, automotive plant, power plant, or construction site, among other things. For economic side, it increases the national income. The sector in general significantly contributes to the country poverty eradication. This industry is a significant source of income and self-employment for low-income households, particularly in rural areas. Electronic producing countries now have large consumer bases that can afford new electronics products. Next, for the social, the establishment of the S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd factory has resulted in numerous job opportunities for the local community, particularly in rural areas. The company requires a large number of employees in order to generate and increase its output. Production methods that highlight more labor-intensive in the manufacturing sector, as well as lack of a fixed and clear specialized knowledge of work areas, have resulted in a large number of workers being able to obtain such knowledge and skill in a variety of functions and areas of operation. Okay, next I will explain about the issues and challenges in the company. Without issues and challenges, an organization cannot have the opportunity to face the challenges, experience, and learn to become a better. So the issues in the S manufacturing company is inventory shipments delay. In order to have streamlined production, companies need to ensure that their parts and supplies are ordered, manufactured, and delivered on time and on schedule at a reasonable cost. Any delay caused by the late shipment can be detrimental to the manufacturing company's bottom line. It was not easy to overcome the downstream effect of one supplier's delay. This is because a contract manufacturer, a third-party testing facility, warehouse to store inventory, and a freighting company are all parts of the company's supply chain. When one of the suppliers experiences a delay, it has an impact towards the others. For instance, if one of the company contract suppliers is late with the order shipment, the company may incur additional costs with the freighting and warehousing company. So, what is the reason for the late shipment? Firstly, it's because the late procurement of materials, especially in the manufacturing or industrial projects, material-related points shall be of top priority. Late procurement will lead to late delivery and late project submission to the customer. So secondly is late delivery of materials. The material might be procured on time but still delivered late, and that could be to many reasons including the customs. Due to late shipment from the supplier, as manufacturing cannot receive the inventory that had been ordered on time. Thirdly is delay in progress payment. Unexpected payment delays can be hugely damaging for business with little or no cash reserve or credit to fall back on. Payment delays are unavoidable for business that are paid based on the invoicing for delivered goods or services. If the company uses an invoicing system, they realize how serious it to be on time. It can put company in position of not being able to purchase the rest of the materials on time. Lastly is slowness in decision making. If the manager does not make his decision on time, the rest of the chain has to stay on hold. Slow decision making causes the purchasing process to be delayed, as the purchasing buyer needs to wait for the approval to complete certain tasks. Any last minute decision causes a delay in ordering materials or goods from the overseas, resulting in delay in supply or delivery of material to the factory. So next is the impact of the issue to the business, entrepreneurship, and management. So firstly is for the business impact, it slows down productivity of the company, especially in production line. Mass production is based on a lot of different moving parts that work together to create a manufacturing process that is quick and efficient in order to respond to the customer demand. If employees are standing around and unable to work due to late shipment, the organizational productivity may sink drastically. Time wasted caused by the avoidable delays can have a great effect on organization profits. When the shipment of material got delayed by the S manufacturing supplier, the production will not fully utilize their employees since there are no tasks that they need to do. The exact task that needs to be done by following the production planning sometimes has to be postponed due to the late shipment arrived in the factory. Next, it will affect the S manufacturing customer, which production will delaying the order shipment that they need to deliver to their customer. Impact toward the management of S manufacturing Berhad are also inevitably losing money because employees who are not working at their top speed and efficiency will be costing. This is because the issue had cost money to the management. The production time will be longer since company will have to spend additional time waiting for their shipment to arrive, all the while having company's employees on the clock for hours or days longer than they should be. What is more, company will have higher inventory costs because of this delay. Lastly is impact towards the entrepreneur was decreased the customer satisfaction. All the business success relies on their customer. Keeping them satisfied is the best thing company can do for the future of the company in order to ensure that clients keep returning for company products over and over again. If clients are continually forced to wait for their orders due to companies' late shipment, they might take their business to companies' competitors and will not do the business with the company again. Thus, this will affect the relationship of the both as manufacturing and their customer in the future. Customer of as manufacturing also have their own customer that they need to take care of. So when they delay orders shipment from the as manufacturing suppliers, as manufacturing unable to proceed to produce the order from the customer, and those customer fail to receive their order and next unable to proceed to the next process. As an entrepreneur in the business sector, they will also lose their profit and customer, especially when it keeps repeatedly happen. Okay, next is the suggestion to the company regarding this issue. So firstly, company needs to find a reliable manufacturer of vendors for company parts. Late shipment can have a range of consequences on a company's output. Shipping issues can severely impact on a company's effort to gain competitive advantage and add value to its services. Any delay may cause the organization costs, time, and clients. When companies lack a part supplier who is dependable, trustworthy, on time with its shipments, the company can be certain that their production is running at maximum speed in order to maximize the cost, keep productivity at its peaks, and maintain their clients delighted so that they will return to the company in the future. So, company needs to find the manufacturer that applying just-in-time JIT in their company. Just-in-time its production strategy is to service consumer immediate needs rather than building up and stockpiling inventory in anticipation of demand. JIT in which the material is acquired and is scheduled to arrive at the plant at the exact time. This will assist both to ensure that the material is accessible when are required. Okay, since as manufacturing is OEM company, which as the purchaser, they do not hold the inventory of parts and depends entirely upon the supplier's ability to manufacture and deliver necessary parts as quickly as possible as they are needed. To limit their risk, many suppliers now score their JIT commitments on the basis of their capacity to fulfill, in which the objective of these score are for benchmark the performance in order to improve and offer a marketing advantage to supplier when they are scored well. These ratings may be used by the company to assess the performance of their suppliers, including the performance of delivery. The company must know how often deliveries occurs on schedule and if this measurement is up to down per supplier. So for the second suggestion is specify the company expectant shipping date early. One of the main obstacles when importing from abroad is communicating with the vendors. One technique of preventing production delays as manufacturing need to be specific to supplier regarding their requirement, like when the material arrives to the factory, when the cutting up begins and ends, and when the final product are to be packaged and delivered to the customer. And then the company must frequently check for updates on the manufacturer whether or not they had received material, started manufacturing, and when the shipment date. Next suggestion is manage production with a timeline. Production schedule are a useful tools in the production process when an order is tracked. They indicate how each project activity has progressed and how its stages guarantee that it can track and change accordingly. An example of such an instrument in a Gantt chart, which it is to manage production deadline. A Gantt chart offers company an overview of the various processes and their relative development when applied to production. The utilization of the Gantt charts as a tool prevents production delays for importers. Okay, next is as manufacturing company needs to have having more than one supplier or alternative supplier. They need to have the alternate supplier in case any arise issues with the primary supplier. While the rest of the project may be on track, but with one supplier failures to meet the deadline can impact the overall timeline. Multiple sources are necessary when one supplier does not have the capacity to furnish the total requirement of buying organization. This could be because the supplier cannot provide sufficient volume of an item or because the item has multiple components that no one supplier can produce. Working with more than one supplier can help company to sidestep an array of a problem in their supply chain that could hurt their ability to deliver the product to the customer for the next time. Okay, the last suggestion for this issue is as manufacturing need to use a domestic supplier rather than using overseas suppliers because it means shorter, less complex delivery routes and remove a substantial part of these issues at a stroke. While local supplier may not be able to deliver assembly any more quickly than one based overseas, the risk of delays and the potential for disruption is considered low. What are the contributions I have been made during my internship in S Manufacturing Sdn is firstly, I able to complete the task given on time, which I have to make the purchase order right before 12 p.m. So I need to submit the purchase order to the sale order team to be entered in the system. Second, I able to communicate with the supplier regarding the quotation that requested from the production line. I need to email to the supplier to find the lower price goods to be purchased. So next, I will proceed the next process, which I will make a purchase order. Lastly, is I am able to do the return to the supplier, which is known as RTS. So if the supplier ship wrong or defect item to the company needs to do the RTS process. So I contribute to the company by doing the RTS on time and need to email to the sale order team so that it can be entered into the system and will be tell to the supplier immediately regarding this issue. So the challenges during I'm practical in S manufacturing is I need to complete the task given without any supervision from the permanent workers, because the permanent workers have resigned and there's no other new workers to teach me to do the task. Next challenges is I need to ensure the exact price of the item before I do the purchase order, since the price from the Excel file given from the workers from the IT department was not tallied with the system. So I need to find the exact price so that I'm not enter the wrong price. I enter the wrong price, so I need to do the PO revise. I need to revise the PO. Okay, the last challenges that I faced during my internship period is I need to follow up with customer, catch up with the supplier regarding the date of shipment to the factory, because some of the supplier are not respond to the email and phone call. If they cannot give the commitment like this, so the item cannot be tracked when the item will arrive at the factory. Okay, as a conclusion for the case study is from the issue that happened in S Manufacturing Sdn Bhd is a delayed shipment of an inventory has indirectly affected toward the business and management of the company and also to the entrepreneur as well. This problem has affected the S manufacturing business, where it has slowed down the productivity, caused money to the organization and decreased the customer satisfaction. Any delay of inventory caused by the late shipment not only happened to the S manufacturing only but also to the other business too. Consistent issues with on-time delivery can cause problems on many other aspects of a company's supply chain. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.